Jingle jingle friends, welcome to holidays at Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we garden and celebrate Christmas here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today's project is to decorate a Christmas tree up in my second floor sunroom area. We've never put a Christmas tree in this space before, so this is exciting for me. This Christmas tree is going to be garden themed and it's going to hopefully have some of the plants that I have recently gathered for this tree, and also some other garden themed ornaments that are store-bought. So come with me and let's put together this beautiful Christmas tree that represents the gardening season of 2021. Up here in the second floor sunroom, we mainly use this area as a lounge area for late night reading. Our dogs love to sleep up here on this big comfy chair that's super old and kind of falling apart. I also use the other side of the room as my office space with a desk area, my computer, and different craft projects and things like that. We've never used this for Christmas decorating in the 6 years that we've lived here so far. So this year is exciting for me because we got a live Christmas tree and it smells wonderful and is going to reflect the garden season of 2021, which is the gardening season in which I started my YouTube channel, and so many of you have followed along and given me all the encouragement I needed to keep going on the channel. And now we're up over 3,500 subscribers, which is just crazy to me because I started it back in January with no one really. And so I'm just really excited to have this Christmas tree in our home this year in a space that I see when I work at my desk or when we're lounging here with the dogs, and also reflecting the garden that we've grown pretty much us together this year. So this is a real Christmas tree. It's a Fraser fir, which is the predominant type of Christmas tree that is available here in the Mid-Atlantic area, at least in Maryland. So I have already put lights on it. I used some fairy lights that are these little ones on the green wire, and I'm happy that the green wire kind of disappears into the greens of the tree. And then I put on this 2 strings worth of these type of little snowball LED lights. They're about a 1/2 inch diameter white frosted bulbs. And I love combining 2 different light styles on the same tree. I think it gives a little bit more interest and a little bit of sparkle. And these fairy lights, I can control whether they're blinking or sparkling, or whether they're solid, or whether they glow on and then glow off, etc. And they're controlled with battery operated little packs, which are on a 6-hour timer. So after I get the tree decorated, I'll turn it off until about 5 p.m. And then at 5 p.m. today, I will turn the battery packs on and they will stay on for 6 hours, and then they'll turn off, and then every day until I take them down, they will come on at that same time for 6 hours and then turn off. I love that timer feature that are in so many of the fairy lights or battery operated candles these days. I put a topper up here. This is plastic, but it looks like it's mercury glass. I got this from Target, I think last year or the year before. It has a little clippy thing to hold it onto the branch, but that is making it crooked. So I need to do something to make that a little less crooked up there. And I will be trimming this part off so that the top will be the star only. And so that is the tree. I've got it in water, and I've already started to put a little bit of garland on it, and I'm going to continue putting this garland around, but let me show you what it is. It's this faux berry garland. It's brown wire, covered wire, and it has little red berries that some of them are plain and some of them are frosted. And it comes in a 5-foot long garland. And you might recognize this. This is the type of material that I used to decorate my joy sign that I did last week. So I'm going to be wrapping this kind of garland around the tree, and then I'll kind of fluff out the branches and make them a little bit more wispy and a little bit more just, I don't know, pleasing to my eye. And then I'll start in with all of the decorations that we have. So let me get this going and get underway. Now this is only 5 feet long, and I have this one plus one more. So I really want to make these fit to the maximum extent around this tree. Now, even though this tree is garden themed, I'm not requiring myself to use only real natural materials. as you can see, I'm using faux berries. I'm using some ornaments that have been in my stash for a long time. So I will be putting some dried elements from the garden on here, but not everything. Once again, for this tree, I was inspired by Danielle from North Lawn Flower Farms. And she just, I think yesterday or the day before, posted a video of her 2021 dried flower Christmas tree. She goes much more natural with hers. She's not using any faux elements except berries. Except ribbons and lights. I am using other faux elements as well. But anyway, once again, thank you, Danielle, for your inspiration. So I realize I've never given you a tour of our home. I've never showed you inside this room before on this channel. It's a sunroom. It has 3 windows on the west side, 3 windows on the east side, and 5 windows on the south side. And in the winter, all the leaves on the trees are gone, and so the sun just streams in, and it's beautiful up here. I love it. In the summer, it's cooler in here because there are leaves on the trees, and it just makes this kind of tree house effect. So I just love this room, and you can see our big old chair here that the dogs have kind of torn apart and claimed as their daytime bed, but this is a great place to relax. Anyway, here we are. This is my sunroom. So these are the ornaments that I have available to us for this tree. So first of all, let me just show you my store-bought ones that I have. This is a box full of ornaments that I used to put on a different tree in the house, but this year they may or may not go on this tree. So these are mostly in greens and browns and beige tones. There's a little bit of seafoam green in this bucket. I won't be using the seafoam green in this tree, but they're here because they used to go on this other tree together with these. But I do have some kind of coppery brown that are glass, and then these are shatterproof. I also have these which have a leaf motif on them that I think are really pretty and will probably go on this tree. And then I have some shades of green, kind of a lighter green with some gold glitter on them, and then kind of a darker green as well. And I may or may not put these ornaments on this tree. This might be a little fancier than I think my garden tree is going to need this year. We'll see. And the same thing with these green mercury glass. They may or may not go on this tree. They might just be a bridge too far into the fancy realm compared to the other things that are more natural. I don't know. We're going to kind of see how it feels. I have 3 of these balls. These are cardinals on branches that I painted for everyone in my family the year that my dad passed away. Are you familiar with the phrase, when cardinals appear, loved ones are near? And you know, folk tales tell us, or folk stories tell us that cardinals in your garden are a sign that a loved one who's passed away has come to visit you. And so I do decorate with a lot of cardinals in my Christmas decor. And also my maiden name is Bird, and so I like to use birds in my home decor anyway, just because of that connection. So I have some of these, and these will definitely be going on this tree. I have 3 different kinds of glass ornaments that are shaped like pine cones. These are brown with gold glitter on them. They're a little bit bigger. And then these are pink and silver with white glitter on them each. Probably won't use the pink ones. I might or might not use the white ones. And I probably will use these. We'll see. Although I do have some real pine cones that I could use instead. Let's look at those. This is a collection of handmade ornaments that I made with my sister Kathy when she came to visit us the first fall that we lived in this house, which I believe was in the fall of 2015. My sister Kathy came out and stayed with us for a few days I think it was in November. And so we were making Christmas crafts. The first thing we made, or I don't know what order we did them in anyway, here is one type that we made. These are big pine cones that we painted the tips white. And then we just added some faux greenery and berries to the top and a little bit of a twine hanger with some hot glue. And those make a beautiful ornament in a naturalistic style on our Christmas tree. And I think I have 8 or 9 of these. My sister and I also together made these ornaments. This is exactly the same method as the star string ornaments that I just posted about very recently. The only difference being that instead of wrapping it around pins on cardboard, I wrapped it around a water balloon. Or maybe they were just had air in them. I guess it was a water balloon that had been filled with air, not with water. Anyway, we had small balloons that we blew up, and then we did the put your string into glue and put them around the ball. And we made, I think a half a dozen or a dozen of these. I'm not sure how many. And you can see there's little glitter stuff on there too. And then we also together, we made these little 5-pointed star pine cone ornaments. These are little teeny tiny guys and they're so sweet. And they just hang, they look a little bit like teddy bears to me. I don't know. They hang on the tree and they look sweet. And so we'll definitely be using these on the garden tree this year. I have a small collection of glass birds. Here's a blue jay. Is this a chickadee or? I'm not exactly sure what this type of bird is. It certainly has a fanciful tail. And a cardinal. I have a handful more over there. And so we'll be putting these on this tree as well. I also have some other more crafty looking birds. Let me show you those. Of this kind. They're made out of colored straw and they have little clips on the bottom. I think I got these at Pier 1 a handful of years ago. I have, I think, 5 of these red ones. I also have 5 white ones that go on a different Christmas tree downstairs, but the cardinal ones are gonna go on the garden tree this year. And then the last bit of stuff, which actually makes it my garden tree, are the flowers and seed heads that I brought in from the garden to see if I can make them beautiful on this tree. So let me show you everything that I have. All right, these are the celosia. This is the blue mist shrub. These are the serendipity allium heads. That's the dusty miller. That is the beautyberry and some sedum heads. And finally, some hydrangea blossoms. And then in this dish, there are some, this is Rock and Play in the Blue salvia bundle that has dried. And then these are some hydrangeas that I brought in a month or 2 ago, and they are super, super dry. The rest of these materials, they've just been laying since I cut them on the back porch for a handful of days. And so like the Dusty Miller has gotten kind of floppy. I probably should have cut them and then hung them upside down to dry, and I didn't do that. So I might have made a mistake there, but I'm gonna give them a shot anyway. And then here are all of the Rock and Play in the Blue salvia bunches that I dried and hung up in the basement, and they have dried nicely. They have I would say they did not retain 100% of their vibrant color, but they are still clearly purple. There's no question about that. And they have a nice soft silvery grayish tone to them as well for a nice dried flower look. Oh, one more thing I have are these little just plain old glass green balls, and I may or may not use those, don't know. Oh, there's a couple more things that I have that I forgot about. One is this garland. I got this at Walmart for, it says it was $14.98, but I'm pretty sure I got it 50% off. And it is a faux garland that has lamb's ears and boxwood, and what else? Is that it? Yeah, lamb's ears and boxwood branches in it. And I got this because I thought I might cut it apart and put little bunches into the tree. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut it apart and do that, or if I'm not gonna use it at all. But because I have the Dusty Miller, I may not need this lamb's ear. Also, I have the lamb's ear balls that I made in a video recently, and those are downstairs. I need to go bring those up, but those are definitely going to go on this tree. You can see I had to bring up my plant stand, my 3-tiered stand, and put all my house plants up here in this sunroom because the one downstairs now has a Christmas tree in that spot. Guess what else I forgot? I forgot about my lichen and moss covered branches from Cape Cod. So maybe some of these are gonna go on the tree as well, especially to tie it in with the wreath that we made earlier in the season. So I am really stumped as to how to get started. Should I put the store-bought balls on first and then put all the florals amongst it? Should I put the florals on first and then fit the balls where they have room? I think as usual, I'm just gonna have to jump in, just try something. Also, I'm a little bit bothered by the fact that I have a mercury glass star and not much else mercury glass on this tree. I've already used all my mercury glass on my other trees. Maybe I want to change that star to something else. Maybe I don't want a star. Maybe I want just a natural elements tree topper. I don't know. I think I might have way more things here than will fit on here also. Well, I think just like pretty much any other creative endeavor I ever do, you can have a concept in your mind, but when it comes down to it, plans have to be able to change in the midst of the project. Otherwise, art doesn't happen. So, not that I'm an artist or anything, but you know what I mean. So I think this is gonna go, and then I'm just gonna play around with a couple of looks and see what I like, and we'll go from there. Well, this is certainly a non-traditional way to treat the top of a Christmas tree. I have wired in some of these branches that have lichen and moss on them, and I just kind of tried to make it kind of, I don't know. I don't know what I did, but I just kind of made up of branches. Is it weird? I don't know. Here's what it is. I mean, it's different. No one else has a tree like this. That's for sure. This is officially the strangest Christmas tree I have ever made. See the lichen branches. At the top, we just have this kind of strange, almost nest kind of thing. In fact, I have another bird's nest. I might stick it right there, like that one. Or maybe it'll go right here or something. And then I just put these branches in here. I just laid them on and put them down in nooks and crannies, like down in there where there was a big hole. And over here, you know, I just spread them kind of around the tree, just to bring these natural elements off of the wreath onto the tree so that it kind of blends a little bit. I do think I've lost my mind. Okay, I have this Dusty Miller, and I should have hung it upside down and let it dry thoroughly before I try to use it on this tree. Instead, what I did was I laid it down on a horizontal surface for 2 days, and now it's just floppy and wonky and weird. But anyway, I'm gonna see what it looks like if I just tuck it in here and let it dry in place on the tree. This may not last. I may not continue with this, but we're gonna see. Now I do believe that these will dry in place, so when I take these off in a month, they'll be nicely dried. It's just that they won't look in a nice shape. So that's a lesson for me for next year. Dusty Miller is a great dried flower. It's just that I didn't treat it well. I didn't do the right thing with it to try to actually use it in a dried fashion. All right, folks, what do we think? Keep it or take it out? I think I'm keeping it. All right, the next addition for the tree are going to be these celosia. Again, these would have been awesome if I had cut them and hung them upside down to dry and then let them dry with plenty of time. As it is, I cut them 2 days ago and they've been laying on a horizontal surface just like the others. And so again, not the best way to deal with your celosia, but it is what I have, and so it's what I'm going to use. Now, I think the hot pink fuchsia purple color against the red, it is what it is. Nature gives us red berries and nature gives us pink flowers, so I don't mind mixing them together. Cute. What next? Beauty berry. Yep, I think I need to tie these into a bundle and then tie them onto the tree. All right, that I'm gonna have to stop there because that's getting a little wonky and crazy for even my taste. So that's enough beauty berry for a minute. I only have a little bit left anyway. That's all I have left, so I'm gonna go with that. I might have crossed over into crazy territory. I don't know. I wasn't in crazy territory already. All right, now, what time is it? Yeah, I have just a few more minutes to work on this, and then I'm gonna have to call it and come back to it tomorrow because I have a meeting. So what else can I do to work on this right now? It's feeling like it's big here and then it's skinny here, and I don't want skinny here. So what can I do to fluff out this area? I have these allium heads. Those could be fluffy fillers. Does that add or detract to my crazy? right track here. I don't want to cover up all the beautiful lichen that I have. Okay, I'm in it this far, so I'm definitely going to continue with this tree. But I'm kind of glad that this is on the second floor where only my husband and I will really see it. And you guys, of course. But I'm not afraid to fail in front of you. But this is looking pretty much not what I had in mind. I think the thing that's bothering me is that the whole top part has no light on it, and so you really have to view it in the daytime with bright sunlight, which we do have here in the sunroom during the day. But at night, I'm very worried that the lights are going to be fine down here, but up here, it's just going to be this big, dark bulk of stuff that you won't be able to know what it is other than just like stuff that should have gone on the compost pile. So I am going to need to come up with a solution or just deal with it. It's turned into kind of a big dried flower arrangement up here. I'm okay with that. But the lighting is what's bothering me, I think. I don't know. I just have to press on at this point. As far as dried elements, I still have all of the Rockin' Plate and Blue Salvia bundles. I think there's 19 of those. I have a few allium heads. I don't think those are going on at this point. They're going to be too brown and crusty, and I already have a lot of brown and crusty going on. I have some hydrangea blossoms, but they're mostly looking brown in this light. They're not looking very colorful at all. So I don't know if they're going to go on either. So I'm going to turn my attention now to my prepared balls. These are the lamb's ear balls that I made in a recent video. And then I'm going to put on the string balls and the white tipped pine cones and maybe even some of the store-bought balls. And maybe just start treating this like a more traditional Christmas tree by hanging my ornaments on it, and then see what it looks like and go from there. All right, well, I've gotten to the end of my time available. I have to get myself cleaned up and ready for a meeting. So I'm going to have to come back to this tomorrow and hopefully finish it up. I like the way it's coming together with the balls on it. I think that the base of all the natural materials with the balls added onto it, and I consider this a ball. These are balls. I like those. And I still have all that salvia, the Rockin' Plain Blue Salvia that I could put on, and I still have some hydrangea blossoms. And then I'm going to have to make a decision about the store-bought balls, the glass pine cones. I definitely will be putting on the birds, but I'm not sure if those glass balls are going to go on here or not. So, but I'm going to make those decisions tomorrow after I sleep on it. And so I will be back tomorrow, and which for you will be just a minute. Okay, good morning. It's a new day and I have a fresh pair of eyes to look at this tree. And I think I'm going to be making some changes. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit and kind of reassess the topper, what's going on at the top of the tree. I like what's happening on the body of the tree, but the top is not floating my boat. So we're going to make some changes. I think these beauty berry branches have to go. Got those beauty berries out of there. Now, how are we doing? Okay. I have something different that I want to try up here and see if it is a better solution for this area. I have this twig star. It's just twigs hot glued together and then hot glued into kind of a, I don't know what you call that, but here's what it looks like from the back. You can get a little bit of a better idea about how it's made. So I just glued all these twigs together with hot glue, and then I painted it white and put these sparkly vase filler gems on it. I made this a long time ago, the same time that I made these twine balls and these pine cones. And I have a bunch more stars like this that aren't filled in. They're just 5-pointed sticks. like this. I have a bunch of these of different sizes. I was planning to use these downstairs, but I think I can spare 1 or 2 for up here. So the question is, how would this look? And if it's good, should it be this one or this one? And should it be up here or down here? And which one should it be? Let me stand back and see. Looks all right, but let's try the other one. I think I like this one better. The only problem is I got 2 toppers, so I'm gonna trim this one down. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we're going with that. We're leaving the beauty berries off for now. Okay, the other thing I think this tree desperately needs is a bird's nest. Now, this is a nest that I actually made myself. I don't know how to do this, I just did it. I'm sorry, I don't have a how-to for you. This is probably, I don't know, let's see, 6 years old now. All right, and then I also put in a little bit of raffia down there in the bottom. I don't know. It's just an approximation of what a bird might come up with. So this bird's nest, I think, is going to have to go either here or here. Let's see which one looks better. It looks precarious and it looks like there's a scary basement. So maybe right there is where that's gonna go. And I have potentially 2 different residents of this bird's nest. One is this furry white with gray, more realistic looking bird ornament. It could live here. That looks pretty good. The other option that I have is this one that's made out of natural materials. This is clearly not realistic. So it could go here as well. So then the question is, which one do we like? I'm pretty sure I like the white one better. I like him better because you can see him better and because it kind of matches the white one that's up on the wreath. There we go. And I'm going to see if I have any moss left to tuck him down in there. Nice. Okay, good. Now that I've removed all of that beautyberry from up here, I like this tree a whole lot better. It does not bother me at all that the top goes wonky and goes off to the side. I think it's quirky and I think that that is just special and more realistic than the tree that has been carefully pruned over the years to become a beautiful, perfect Christmas tree shape. And overnight, the Dusty Miller has flopped even a little bit more. So at this point, it's kind of an important color to have on the tree, so I'm just going to go with it. But now I know for sure next year I have to dry my Dusty Miller upside down before I put it on the tree. All right, what else do I have to add? I have all that salvia. Let's put some of that in here and see how that looks. I have, I think, 19 bunches of this that I dried in my basement, and they're, you know, they range in size. They dried pretty nicely. They are, you know, they do fall apart if you fuss with them a lot, but I'm not trying to fuss with them too much, so. All right. Don't overdo, Jenny. Don't be like the beautyberry. Oh, that looks pretty. Yeah, I like that. All right, I have this tray of hydrangea blossoms. Some of them are more purple and others of them are more brownish with a little bit of rose color in it. Some of them have long stems and some of them don't. So I'm just gonna see where these might fit. I want to be careful to not cover up any of this lichen or any of my other florals that I've already put in. So I may not end up using many of these, or I might use them all. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I could tuck this one in here, for example. There, that fills that out pretty nicely. I'm aiming to put the bigger blossoms lower on the tree and the smaller ones higher on the tree. I just think that they match better that way. I think you're not actually really focusing on the fact that there are hydrangeas in here. I think it just adds a little bit of filler. It fills in some of the gaps and brings just the tiniest little bit of color. But right now I would say that the star of the show are these salvias. And in supporting character roles we have these celosia. And the Dusty Miller is looking a little bit like a highlight accent color, and then the hydrangeas are serving just kind of as visual filler. Now I am going to be pushing this tree back into the corner and twisting it just a smidge. So the front of it was actually going to be right here, but it'll be facing this way. So I'm not worrying about when I'm running low on supplies, I'm not doing the back. Okay, now I'm down to only, well, I do have the Caryopteris, but as I look at it, and I also have the Allium seed heads, but I don't think I need them. I think I have enough dried flower elements on here for what I'm looking for. So now I'm down to store-bought or handmade ornaments again, and so I have to decide if I want to put any of these type of balls on this tree. I think brown might be a nice color to add. And also I like the idea of having a little bit more shine in here, just kind of sprinkled in. So let me try a couple, see how it's looking, and then go from there. Yeah, I do like the color that these brownish, kind of burgundy brown, coppery color. I don't know what color they are, but I like the depth of color that they're bringing. They kind of pull out the hydrangea blossoms, actually. Okay, good. So that I think was a nice addition. It adds a little bit more sparkle, a little bit more depth of color, and not too much proportionally. There's way more natural things on there than there are store-bought things, so I like that. Now, another question is, should I put these store-bought pine cones on? They bring a little bit of glam, a little bit of glitter. So far, the only glitter that's on the tree are on these balls and on the star. So do I want to add more glitter? Maybe. Maybe. Last one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't want it up in here. Again, I want it in this space where I don't have any branches. And I don't want to detract from our bird. I put it here. Would that be alright? I think so. I usually don't put 2 ornaments on the same branch, especially 2 pine cone ornaments. So I'm going to move this guy. You can find another spot. Okay. I think it's time for some birds. What do you think? Yeah, it's bird time. I think I'm going to set these aside for now. I thought maybe I might be using these on this tree, but I think if I add this on, then your eye will be drawn to the pattern on that, and I don't want that. I want your eye to be drawn to the natural elements, and I think that these balls just refer you over to the brown things that are on the tree, so I'm not going to use any more of these. I want this clip to fit onto this branch, but right now it doesn't open wide enough for it to really fit nicely. So I'm going to make it smaller. Now it'll have a nice perch right there on the end of that branch. Okay, so I know from experience that as the season progresses, these branches are going to start to droop and I may need to move my birds or really any of the other ornaments. As the branches droop over the season, I'll rearrange the tree as necessary. One of my little guys broke, so I only have four right now. I'll be able to fix him, but I haven't done it yet, so. Okay, I have some more bird ornaments to put on also. Now, these ornaments, they don't really match the theme of this tree in terms of they're not a natural element. They don't look like they're a natural element, but these are so meaningful to me. They're going on the tree. I have this glass cardinal. Again, cardinal theme. Cardinals, when cardinals appear, loved ones are near. Messengers from heaven, some people believe. I love these two. These are more realistic looking birds. I have some others over there that are a little less realistic, but these are pretty. And I don't know what this one is supposed to be. It's kind of red, but it's not a cardinal. So I'm not sure. If you know what this bird is supposed to be, please let me know. I know this is a blue jay. And they're gonna go lower because I want the cardinals to be the focus of this tree, not these guys, although I do love you little guys. Okay, and now I'm down to these more fanciful types of birds. I think these are somewhat reminiscent of real bird varieties, but maybe not precisely. And they all have these little feathery tails. I think I'm gonna leave these behind this year. They're gonna go back into storage and maybe I'll use them next year. Or maybe I'll put them downstairs somewhere, I don't know. Okay, I have this tray of woodland type ornaments, but they're all store-bought and they're all crafted items, and they're cute, aren't they? But I don't think that they're going to go on this tree because they're just a little bit too chintzy for me, too cheesy. Maybe this guy can go in there. Actually, I have this pick. I have two of them actually, yeah. I have this pick that's got berries and greenery and stuff, and it has a little nest on it. So I think I'll put this in here somewhere and let this little red guy sit in it. Really should have done the bigger pieces before I did all the littles, but oh well. Perfect. And I found this little pick too. It's also got a red bird in a bird's nest. So yeah, he'll find a little spot somewhere too. Okay, so the only things I have left that I thought I might put on here were that lamb's ear garland. That was a faux garland. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to detract from even the floppiness of the Dusty Miller. I also have those woodland ornaments that were kind of crafty looking, kind of cheesy looking. I'm not going to use those. I'm not using any more balls. I've used up all the florals that I want to use. I didn't use the allium seed heads, and I didn't use the blue mist shrub, Caryopteris. I just don't think it's necessary. I think the tree looks really pretty the way it is. I'm so glad I took off the beautyberry. Oh my gosh, that was a wild mess. I so love this so much more. Beautyberry, thank you for your service. Not using you in this project. Now I have a crazy mess that I need to clean up, and then I'll show you the finished product. You guys, I am so happy with this tree. And as you know, I started out this morning with really being kind of very unhappy with it. So I think it has turned into something really unique. It definitely reflects my taste, my garden, and it's just a wonderful thing for me to be able to sit here and enjoy the beauty of my garden from this past year. And also memorable items that I have on this tree, things that I've made with loved ones, things that reflect loved ones in my family. I just am so in love. I didn't have a tree skirt that I thought matched the theme, and really this blanket doesn't really either. The only reason I use this blanket is that it's in dark tones of brown and beige, and it has a rose floral on it, but from here, standing back, it could be any sort of botanical print on there. So that's what I'm using. It doesn't even go all the way around to the back. You can see it only goes part way. Doesn't even cover the cords back there, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful, right? Okay, so let's just take a closer look at the tree and all the ornaments that are on it. Well, friends, what do you think of this tree? I'd love to hear your reaction to it in the comments down below. Do you like it, or is it not your taste? Either way is fine. Also, share in the comments down below, what are you doing for your Christmas decorations? Are you able to bring in part of your garden, or maybe decorate your garden outside as part of your Christmas decorations? Tell us in the comment section below what you're doing for holiday decor that might be garden themed. Thank you so much for joining me today on this video. I hope that you will come back and watch more with us over the coming season. And I hope you have a wonderful day, friends. Have a great one. I'll see you soon. Bye.